I thought this was a part of the thing. It's a gag. I'm like, why am I saying this?
I make it clap. I make it clap. Welcome back to Pause. Today we have a guest you guys may be familiar with. If you guys were watching season 1, episode 1, our very first guest, he gave this show a chance. He knew nothing about me or what we were doing. I need everyone to give him a warm welcome. Please give it up for the one, the only, Cash Johnson. Cash, you were here season 1.
I didn't know I was episode 1. That's an honor.
Yeah, you were literally our first, and even just like in that order, you were the first person to ever step foot in that basement that we were filming in. So look at where we are now.
Came up.
You know, what are your initial thoughts?
I like this. I like this a lot. You know, it's home because it's in the studio. I love the studio. But it was something about the other one I liked a lot too. I walked down there. You had the liquor. I'm a
Alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, so you had the alcohol everywhere. I'm like, okay, I see where this is going.
Right.
So,
And here it's a little more tame. It's a little
Yeah.
more like, let's really talk to one another.
I had Oprah in my mind. I don't know why. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because I am the gay Oprah. I did some digging in your past,
Oh shit.
and I just want to know why you are coming up in the news.
Damn, I didn't know we was going there. This was a surprise. Well, yeah, when I was 17, I was just this day I was with the wrong crowd, or you know, it was like a bad situation that happened, and it ended up in someone actually dying, but I didn't have, you know, a major role in that took place. So, you know, through the grace of God and, you know, my family and everything, I overcame that and I beat that. Yeah, it was very scary times.
It's a scary time, and you still
Yeah.
made it through, and you're still such a positive person. Like,
Thank
no
you.
matter what you rap about, talk about, show online, you really are like such a supportive, positive person all the time.
Thank
Always
you.
telling people to just go chase after their dream, be consistent, even if everybody's counting you out and
Facts.
and is not supporting you. You got to support yourself.
That's
And
a fact.
you have to believe in your dream 100%. So let's go over some things that have happened since the last time you were on the show, which was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at this
Give or
point.
take, yeah.
You know, something like that. So in that time, I have a list. You have released I Like That, Summertime in Hoodies, Young Boy, Drop Tops in the Rain, I'll Be Right Back, Dog Pack EP, Bag Lady, Double Parked, Wavy Baby, and Mac and Cheese. But you have not released an album.
I didn't release an album. I released the EP.
You released the EP, but this is like 11 songs that could have just been on an album.
Yeah, but the album has to be like cohesive and it all has to go together. Those songs wouldn't like really fit on the album. But I have an album.
Done, finished.
Wavy Baby and Mac and Cheese are on that album.
And when is this an exclusive? Like, when is it dropping? When is it coming out? What's the plan?
Within the next 2 months. So I wanted to release some singles first and, you know, build some anticipation for it. I shot one video called Double Parked, and I'm shooting another video called Dose. Is probably one of my favorite songs I ever recorded. But I just want to get all those things in line first before I drop the album. The album is called Too Different, and all these songs are different vibes, like melodically and sonically they're different, so I call them Too Different. Like Wavy Baby, if you listen to that, it's like that vibe of just me stepping out of my comfort zone, and everything sounded very different.
We talk about momentum. You bring up momentum. You bring up, you know, the anticipation for the album. You and I tried a trial period where I was helping you with your marketing plan and your social media and stepping all of that up.
I tried. I mean, well, you would tell me to send you certain things or do certain things. Pause.
Play.
Like, I don't really know what he wants. Like, I don't know if this content is good enough, but we tried. You know what I mean? And I don't like to say I tried and it failed, but like, I really appreciate that. I wanted to let you know, like, I truly appreciate that because, especially like you said, from the first interview, you know, to you helping me with that, you don't really meet someone that you don't really know who's just willing to help you without wanting anything in return. So, like, I really appreciate that. No one has ever really did that for me that I don't know.
So we worked together. It didn't work out. I'm still always here, though.
Okay.
You know,
No.
the vibes.
That's Cap for the cameras. He Cap. I hit him up. He's like, yo, I'm working for a big company. I ain't got time. Hit me up another day.
That's not what I said. That's not what I
Alright.
said. As an independent artist, as somebody who's coming up,
Mm-hmm.
that I think is not talked about enough.
Mhm.
That you are in charge of the ways
Mhm.
that you put your music out and how to get it out and how to reach a certain audience and all of those things.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody has a plan that they know, like, okay, this is the right plan, but I do have a plan, yeah. So like what I've been doing recently is like, being in contact with, major artists. You know what I mean? As far as like, talking to them, getting my information out. Like I was with French Montana, Post Malone, couple Tate McRae, just talking to them, telling them about my brand, taking pictures, because most of the time people don't really believe in you until like they see it happening. You know what I'm saying? I could sit here and tell you I rap, all day long, but when you see me next to Post Malone, you're like, oh. Another thing that I'm doing too, I have a TV show that's about to drop on Tubi called Dark City. So we've been filming for that. So I'm gonna, intertwine my music with the acting and, just push it through a different channel and avenue.
Is that sidebar a licensing deal that you strike with Tubi?
I haven't got to that portion yet. Right now I'm just more so on the acting because we didn't go in and edit the episodes yet, but I'm gonna definitely talk to the director and get my music in there.
Also, let's talk about Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you're a star.
Mm-hmm.
How did that even come about?
I'm in a movie right now. I've been on TV a couple times, but I'm in another Tubi movie called Last Bet. So I ran into a director. He was shining. So I'm like, yo, you rap? Because, I like to put myself out there. I'm like, yo, you rap, bro? He like, nah, I'm actually a movie director. I'm like, oh, well, I've been on Power, This Is Us, a couple things. Like I do stuff like that. And he was like, word, come by the set tomorrow. So I'm like, all right. So I made that happen. Came by the set, and I was a security guard in one of his movies. And, like, I wasn't just going to sit there and not say nothing. So I had to, like, force myself to have a speaking role. And I said something that was very entertaining, and people loved that part of the movie. So I seen that same director was shooting a TV series, and he needed a main star. So I applied for it.
You really are on the most random ass sets, but just because you have a goal.
Yeah. I'm just
you have a goal in mind, and you're just going to do whatever the fuck.
Facts.
Whether that be Tubi or HBO.
Facts.
I admire that about you.
Thank you.
So, here we like to play games.
Okay.
And that's all I do, really, is just play games and joke.
Okay.
So we have a new game here called Bar for Bar, where we have a bowl that magically just appeared in my hands. And you're going to pick out, we're going to do 3 rounds of this. You're going to pick out a card.
All right.
It's going to have a prompt, and you're going to freestyle about that prompt.
How you find out RyRo was gay?
All right, let's hear it.
How'd you find out RyRo was gay? My first place pause. He said, oh, Cash, stay. I said, why? He said, I want to fix you a plate. I said, no. We cannot go on a date.
That was corny, and that was cat. We did go on a date.
No, we did not.
The next prompt is...
Tell people to watch you on Tubi. And no, I don't fuck groupies. And a couple years later, you're going to see me on a bigger movie.
Hey,
Like
that got some claps,
Something like
okay? That was bar for bar. Let me try one. How do I feel about the current political climate? I don't know. I might climb it. Climb it?
Oh, I got it, but...
Like climb it. You get it?
I got it, but I didn't...
Walk me through your writing process.
My writing process? The real writing process? Okay, so... I like to put on some oldies. I like to put on like an old vibe that like I never heard before. Whether that be like some old Mary J. Blige or whatever the case may be, some Isley Brothers or something like that. Like I find a real old vibe, catch a vibe because it's very soulful. I smoke, might have a glass of wine, glass of Henny, whatever that occasion is that day. And it just really comes to me, like, you know what I mean? And then I'll just start writing. I got some LEDs. So I turn the LEDs off, turn the lights off. I usually like to write under the red light. And I catch a
You
vibe.
also, you have a very unique way of presenting your voice on your music.
Mm.
Because there are some songs you have that literally sound like you are drunk as fuck.
I probably was. And I study music, so like I was joking if I said I probably was drunk. I mean, I probably was tipsy, but if I'm recording and I released it, like I know what I'm doing as far as like what's appealing to the ear. Like it's as far as like if I'm making a hook, like vowels really stick out, A, E, I, O, U for a reason. And like cause like I've done this for a long time, so I made it like art. So like with my S's, like I'll make sure like if I might say a word that has an S in it, for like when I go back on and I do a double, I'll extend the S just so the S like sticks out and it's prominent, and like I'll like extend the S purposely. And a lot of people too, this is off subject, but if we're talking about like song structure and making songs, I feel like ad libs are important.
Somebody that does ad libs, I think, so well in modern day.
Ferg?
No, Money Long.
Okay, the singer.
The singer, the R&B singer.
Okay, I have to check her out. I only know that one song, bro.
Nobody knows me
that one right
like
there.
you do.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You about to get in his bag.
Yes, she wrote that about me and Cash. So we talked earlier about you being positive and you going on despite whatever anybody else says.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why do I stay positive? Because it's all I got. Like I done been through that. I lost my mom, my dad. You know what I'm saying? One of my grandmothers. So it's like I've seen so much, and I just know like positivity is the only. Because when you're in those situations, like when you pulled out that car, if we talking about mental health, the only person who could really get you out of a bad situation is yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I try to do things to keep me in a positive mind state, because anybody else, it'll let them, break them down. They be depressed. So like I make sure, like before I came here, I got to run a mile on a treadmill. I like to exercise. I like to read. I like to go outside, get some sunlight. You know what I mean? Because I think those things are important and like you kind of need it. You know what I mean?
I would imagine you lost a couple friends along the way.
A
lot of supporters, maybe.
A lot of them.
Was it hard at first?
It was a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like for some reason, like I've been just getting into this, like this time of year, I used to always get depressed, right? Because I was going through that and I was on house arrest. So I would see, like, you know what I'm saying? I would see people go away to school and college and stuff like that. And I was in a crib. So it was always around this time of year. So I would always get, depressed. So I think like I was already conditioned for people leaving and stuff like that. Like I said, I lost, very important people to me. So like I'm used to people kind of leaving, as fucked up as it sounds. But yeah, I think yeah, like along the way I've lost a lot of people and I just kind of like got used to it. And it's a bad thing too, because like when I meet somebody, or I don't really like to let them get too close to me, because in my head I'm like, you probably gonna leave too. It's messed up, but it's messed up. But I mean, it's the way I'm conditioned. You know what I mean? But like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it though.
As you get older, do you feel like you've lost motivation in the journey?
I don't feel like I'm always gonna do something to keep me motivated. I don't think I've lost motivation in the journey, but I've been kind of let down. Cause like when you're growing up and you want to be a rapper, or let's say an actor, you're thinking, oh, that's the best thing in the world you could possibly do. So like I feel like growing up, on a journey, like you feel like, yo, I want to be a rapper or I want to be an actor, and then you really start to do it and you get further in the journey and you realize like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of like, excuse my language, a lot of fuck shit that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of fake and a lot of like shit that you just thought, you know what I mean? You thought it was different. So once you see all that and you kind of like, yo, damn, like I still want to do this, but like it's not what I thought it was. You know?
And is there a world that you see where you aren't doing any of that? You aren't making music. You aren't an actor. You're doing something
else
that society says you should be doing. A 9 to 5.
Do I see myself doing that? Hell no. No, I can't do anything right. I can't like have like working a job like I've never had a job that I was like, yo, I want to go to work. I like going to work. I hate working.
Cash, before we go, I wanted to say how much I really do appreciate you. You know, I'm always in your corner. I hope that I make that very clear to you. And I am excited for the album. I'm excited for you. You know, I feel like I had a better look at kind of your mind and your creative journey from behind the scenes, from us working together. And you definitely have, like, I just remember this one time where I was like, Cash, I don't like this song. And you were like, you don't understand. You're like, that's fine. And you still put it out. And I'm like, even then, it's like, fuck what you say. I like the song. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put it out because I think it's good. And you stand behind that.
I feel like a lot of people, though, especially artists, have a lot of artist friends, like, they'll ask you their opinion because they don't want to put it out. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, what do you think about this? And waiting for you to give them a negative response so they can have an excuse in their minds to why it is that they didn't put the song out. You know what I mean? I meet those people every day.
So with that, I want to say, from one creative to another, do you have any advice for me?
In what, music? No, I'm being honest.
Whatever advice you want to give me.
I love this show. So like what you were saying before stuck out when you said like you had the Nerf guns or something. Like I would love to see the show go from like where it is to like something crazy as far as getting like that on camera, like you waiting outside hitting somebody with a Nerf gun, or you know what I mean, like just really seeing who you are.
Do you think that I do a good job at?
Great. Edits are crazy. No, literally.
That wasn't even my question.
I know, but man, my bad. I gotta go in and reiterate because I was watching it with my girl and I watched all the interviews that I did, and I literally said, this is probably the best show that I've ever been on. Like, you know what I mean, as far as like how you edit things and like how the questions are, how you do like the freestyle round, and like you put the music behind it. You have a whole team here. Like most people aren't moving like this.
Cash don't be tuned in to me.
I'll be tuned in for real.
This camera. Tell the people what you have going on.
I got an album dropping. It's called Too Different. That's coming out real soon. You can see me on Tubi pretty soon. It's called Dark City. I got a new line of merch dropping, so you can go on CashJohnsonMusic.com, cop that. What else? That's pretty much it for right now.
All right. Well, Cash, I always appreciate you coming. You're always welcome here at Pause. Let's give it up for Cash Johnson, everyone.
Thank you.
The perception is that producers are supposed to work with the artist, but a producer could also just make music. There's different ways to craft your own lane in the music business to get, bread.